breaking or accidental soft launch? Why did hashtag JUNGKOOKxCHANELBEAUTY suddenly explode? And did ELLE Korea just reveal a billion-1 secret without meaning to? Was it just a beautifully shot fashion teaser? Or was the world unknowingly watching the quiet beginning of one of the most powerful beauty contracts in modern K-pop history? And if this was not an accident, then why did no one say a word? Yet everyone seemed to know exactly what it meant. On the morning of January 2nd, 2026, something subtle but seismic happened in the global entertainment industry. There was no press conference, no official announcement, no carefully worded press release stamped with corporate logos. Instead, there was only a 45-second video, a single caption, and a wave of reactions so intense that it forced one impossible question into the open. Did ELLE Korea just unintentionally confirm Jungkook's massive collaboration with Chanel Beauty? The moment the teaser surfaced on X through the fan chart account at JUNGKOOKxCHANELBEAUTY with the deceptively simple words, Jungkook for ELLE Korea, the internet did what it does best: connect faster than any brand strategist ever could. Within minutes, the comment section was no longer reacting to Jungkook's visuals alone. Fans were no longer just screaming about angles, lighting, or styling. Instead, one phrase began to dominate timelines, replies, reposts, and trending pages across regions and languages. Hashtag JUNGKOOKxCHANELBEAUTY. Why that tag? Why now? And why did it feel less like speculation and more like recognition? The video itself felt like a whisper rather than a shout, but in the world of luxury branding, whispers often cost more than screams. Jungkook appeared framed by crystal chandeliers that reflected light with deliberate softness. He held a vintage camera as if documenting a private moment, then leaned against a Parisian balcony with the Eiffel Tower looming in the background, not as a tourist landmark, but as a symbol of legacy, heritage, and luxury dominance. The black and white portraits, the slow pacing, the lingering shots on glass bottles and refined textures, all of it pointed in one unmistakable direction. This was not just fashion. This was beauty. This was Chanel. And yet, nowhere in the video did the brand explicitly speak. That silence is precisely what made it deafening. For years, Jungkook has been recognized as one of the most commercially powerful idols on the planet. His influence extends beyond music charts into fashion, lifestyle, and now, increasingly, beauty. His association with Calvin Klein reshaped how male idols are perceived in Western luxury campaigns, blending vulnerability, strength, and sensual minimalism in a way that moved products as effectively as it moved culture. But Chanel Beauty occupies a different territory entirely. Chanel is not just a brand. It is a gatekeeper of prestige, heritage, and controlled exclusivity. Chanel does not rush. Chanel does not experiment publicly. Chanel chooses carefully and speaks less so when armies notice the unmistakable presence of Chanel Beauty products in the ELLE Korea teaser. The reaction was immediate and unified. This was not a coincidence. This was not random placement. This looked, felt, and moved like a soft launch. But could ELLE Korea really have revealed something so monumental by accident? ELLE Korea, as the local edition of one of the world's most influential fashion magazines, understands the rules of luxury media better than most. Every frame, every prop, every styling choice is negotiated, approved, and intentional. The idea that a Chanel Beauty product could appear prominently next to Jungkook without clearance borders on impossible. Which leads to the question that continues to haunt industry observers. If this was approved, then approved by whom? And for what purpose? As views climbed past 54,000 in a matter of hours and likes surged beyond 8,000 with thousands of reposts following, the language of the fandom shifted. Fans were no longer asking, is this real? They were asking, when will it be announced? Some went further, openly calling the video a soft launch, a term usually reserved for strategic brand rollouts designed to test public reaction before formal confirmation. Others speculated about contract values, exclusivity clauses, and regional dominance, noting that Chanel Beauty has been expanding aggressively in Asia while remaining notoriously selective with global ambassadors. Could Jungkook be the bridge Chanel has been waiting for? The timing alone fuels suspicion. Jungkook is navigating a critical post-military phase, one where every move carries amplified weight. His solo album, Golden, did more than perform well. It redefined expectations for male soloists emerging from group-centric K-pop systems. His global recognition now exists independently of BTS, while still benefiting from its immense legacy. From a brand perspective, this is not just ideal, it is rare. ELLE Korea's teaser arrived at precisely the moment when Jungkook's image is evolving from idol to icon. No longer positioned merely as a pop star, he is increasingly framed as a cultural figure who transcends categories. Beauty brands thrive on this kind of ambiguity, where masculinity, elegance, softness, and power coexist without explanation. Chanel, in particular, has been moving steadily toward redefining beauty narratives beyond traditional gender lines. Jungkook fits that philosophy not because he tries to, but because he embodies it naturally. This is why fans in Indonesia, Korea, the United States, and Europe reacted in unison. Language barriers disappeared as reactions converged around awe, shock, and certainty. "How can he look unreal like this?" wrote one Indonesian fan, while another declared him already Chanel before Chanel says so. These were not casual compliments. They were statements of perceived inevitability, and that is what makes this moment extraordinary. In the past, brand rumors often relied on blurry airport photos, insider leaks, or speculative reports. This time, the evidence came directly from a high-fashion editorial context, delivered with the polish of an official campaign and the restraint of something not yet meant to be named. It created a paradox where nothing was confirmed, yet everything felt revealed. Industry analysts quietly began to weigh in. While no official numbers exist, whispers suggest that a Chanel beauty partnership with Jungkook would rank among the most expensive beauty contracts ever signed by a male Asian artist. Not because of hype, but because of conversion power. Jungkook does not merely represent products, he activates markets. His influence turns admiration into consumption with measurable speed. SOY remains silent. The answer may lie in strategy rather than secrecy. In luxury branding, anticipation is currency. By allowing speculation to grow organically, brands can measure public sentiment, regional engagement, and demographic response without committing publicly. The explosive rise of #JUNGKOOKxCHANELBEAUTY provided real-time data across platforms, markets, and age groups. If this was a test, the results were impossible to ignore. ELLE Korea, for its part, has not clarified whether the appearance of Chanel beauty products was intentional messaging or simply editorial styling. That silence, again, speaks volumes. In media, denials arrive quickly when mistakes are made. None came. Instead, the video remained online, untouched, continuing to collect views, reactions, and theories. And then there is Jungkook himself. He said nothing. No repost.
No caption. No emoji.
No clarification. For an artist whose every move is scrutinized, silence can be the loudest form of confirmation. Fans know this pattern well. BTS members have long mastered the art of letting moments breathe before announcements arrive. If history is any guide, what feels like a leak today often becomes a headline tomorrow. The deeper question, however, extends beyond contracts and campaigns. What does it mean if Jungkook becomes the face of Chanel Beauty? What does it signal about the global shift in beauty standards, representation, and power? For decades, luxury beauty brands were dominated by Western faces and rigid definitions of elegance. In recent years, that paradigm has been cracking. Jungkook does not just step into that crack, he widens it. This is why the teaser felt less like content and more like a turning point. As the fashion world waits, as ARMY continues to analyze every frame, and as hashtags refuse to fade, one truth remains undeniable. Whether accidental or intentional, ELLE Korea's teaser did something extraordinary. It transformed a short video into a global conversation, a rumor into a movement, and a question into an expectation. The real mystery is no longer whether Jungkook is aligned with Chanel Beauty. The mystery is how long the world will have to wait before the silence finally breaks, and whether, when it does, We will look back at this moment and realize we were watching history quietly begin, hidden in plain sight, wrapped in crystal light, Parisian shadows, and one unforgettable name. And as the hours turned into days, something even more unusual happened. The conversation did not slow down. It deepened. The speculation surrounding #JUNGKOOKxCHANELBEAUTY did not dissolve into ordinary fandom noise, but instead matured into a sustained global dialogue that felt closer to an unfolding investigation than a rumor cycle. Media observers, fashion insiders, and longtime armies began asking sharper questions, not about whether something was happening, but about how carefully it was being staged. Why did the teaser lean so heavily into beauty symbolism rather than fashion silhouettes? Why were the camera movements slow and intimate, lingering on skin texture, light reflection, and glass surfaces rather than garments? Why did Jungkook's expressions feel restrained, almost editorially distant, instead of the dramatic intensity often seen in idol-led fashion shoots? These choices mattered, because in luxury storytelling, nothing is accidental, especially not restraint. What many fans noticed, almost instinctively, was that the teaser did not sell Jungkook as a celebrity wearing products. It framed him as an atmosphere. He was not endorsing beauty. He was embodying it. This distinction is critical in Chanel's branding philosophy. Chanel Beauty has historically avoided overt endorsement energy, favoring narratives that position their muses as timeless presences rather than spokespeople. When viewed through that lens, the teaser suddenly made sense in a way that felt almost unsettling. This was not promotion. This was positioning. And then there was Paris. The Eiffel Tower's appearance was brief, almost understated, but its symbolism was impossible to ignore. Paris is not merely a backdrop in fashion media. It is a declaration. Chanel is Paris. Chanel's identity is inseparable from the city's cultural mythology, including that landmark, even subtly, placed Jungkook within a visual language that Chanel has guarded for over a century. Fans quickly questioned whether ELLE Korea would dare invoke Parisian iconography so directly without alignment from a French luxury house known for its strict visual governance. Again, no answers came. Instead, something more revealing emerged. Secondary fashion accounts, stylists, and beauty editors began referencing the teaser indirectly, using phrases like interesting timing, editorial alignment, and beauty-coded visuals. No one named Chanel outright, but no one denied it either. In the luxury industry, this kind of collective vagueness often signals awareness without authorization to speak. At the center of it all remained Jungkook, whose post-military era has been defined by precision rather than volume. Unlike many artists who return with loud reintroductions, Jungkook has chosen subtle dominance. Each appearance feels curated, measured, and strategically placed, suggesting a long-term vision rather than short-term exposure. The ELLE Korea teaser fits this pattern perfectly. It did not overwhelm. It invited obsession. This is why the phrase soft launch resonated so strongly with fans. In modern branding, especially at the luxury level, soft launches are designed to feel organic, even accidental. They rely on audience intelligence rather than direct instruction. The goal is not to announce, but to let the public arrive at the conclusion on their own. Judging by the viral spread of #JUNGKOOKxCHANELBEAUTY, the audience arrived quickly and confidently. But what would an exclusive Chanel Beauty contract actually mean for Jungkook's career? Beyond the financial magnitude, which industry estimates suggest could reach staggering figures due to global exclusivity and multi-region usage rights, such a partnership would mark a historic shift in beauty representation. Male beauty ambassadors at this level remain rare, and Asian male ambassadors even more so. Jungkook's presence would challenge long-standing norms not through confrontation, but through inevitability. His appeal does not demand acceptance, it assumes it. This is precisely why Chanel's potential interest feels both revolutionary and logical. Jungkook does not chase trends. He becomes them. His influence is not manufactured through controversy, but sustained through trust. Fans follow him not because he sells, but because he resonates. For a beauty brand built on emotional connection and heritage, that resonance is priceless. The silence from official channels, meanwhile, has only intensified the emotional investment. Every day, without confirmation, becomes part of the narrative. Fans dissect